This is a good photo right here. The Joker and the beard. And this is what we're in for in the first round. So many first round matchups that feel like they could be Western Conference Finals matchups. Lakers versus the Timberwolves. Nuggets versus the Clippers. Just so much talent in the West. And in the East, honestly, I'm super excited for the playoffs to get going here. Before I make my prediction, I'm just going to kind of go over both of the teams for the Nuggets and the Clippers. The Clippers or the Timberwolves would have been the worst possible matchups for the Nuggets, and of course they get the Clippers matched up against them. Um, we'll start off with the Jokic Zubac matchup. I think that's going to be an awesome matchup. Of course, Jokic is the best player in the entire series. He's the best player in the entire NBA, in my opinion. SGA is going to win the MVP. That's a different discussion, though. As far as just overall talent, Jokic is the best player in the NBA still, as far as I'm concerned. But the Jokic Zubac matchup, Jokic is going to get, he's probably going to average a 30-point triple double throughout the entire series, to be honest. He's just that great. But Zubac is going to do as good of a job as anybody defending Nikola Jokic. I would pick Wembanyama, Anthony Davis, maybe Draymond Green over Zubac as far as if you want to handpick a defender to defend Jokic. But other than those guys, Zubac is one of the best bets you can have to defend Jokic. He's going to be able to match the physicality of Jokic. The only thing that would concern me is when they pull Zubac out to the 3-point line and out of the paint, because Jokic can operate all over the court. I feel like that's going to be Denver's strategy. Try to pull Zubac out of the paint. That way, Jamal Murray, um, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon are all going to have more room to operate inside of the paint. So that'll be interesting to see. As far as Jokic defending Zubac, I feel like that's a good matchup for Jokic. Not that Jokic is some crazy lockdown defender, but Zubac is not going to stretch him out and pull him out to shoot threes. Zubac is mainly just in the paint. He's going to be physical down there, which Jokic has no problem with. He's a very physical player as well. But, Jokic just has to stay down there, bang with Zubac in the paint, guard Zubac's hook shots and, his little floaters and everything he does in the paint. He's really good at scoring down low. And then, I feel like this is a good matchup for Jokic. The matchup favors Jokic, him versus Zubac, because Jokic is a really good rebounder as well. He can match Zubac's physicality. That would just be the one thing, if I was a Nuggets fan, I'd be kind of concerned about. Zubac is going to play very physical against Jokic and try to take some energy out of him. And something Jokic likes to do, he likes to get out on the fast break and push the ball in the fast break. He's not going to be able to do a lot of that with Zubac in the game, because he's going to have to be down low boxing out Zubac. Otherwise, he's going to have freaking 17, 20 rebounds in all these games. He's a leading rebounder in the entire NBA, so Jokic is going to have to box him out. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown likes to rebound. Jamal Murray as much as he can. Denver's going to have to team rebound and really help Jokic out, and not just try to let Jokic, get all the rebounds down there or be down there without any help. Because if they do that, Zubac is going to be killing them on the offensive glass, like he always does against pretty much all the teams in the NBA. Denver's a top 5 offensive team. The Clippers are a top 5 defensive team. The Clippers won, I think, it was like 14 of their last 16 games, something ridiculous like that. So they've just been on fire, been on a crazy winning streak. They beat Golden State in the final game of the season to lock up their spot in the playoffs and kick Golden State into the play-in tournament. So the Clippers are feeling really confident right now. They've been playing great basketball. As far as James Harden matchup, I think James Harden will probably be guarded by Christian Brown. I feel good about that. Christian Brown is a really good defender. Of course, you can pick some other defenders. There are better perimeter defenders in the Western Conference and just in the NBA in general. But if I was the Nuggets, I would feel good having Christian Brown to guard James Harden. Um, Christian Brown's going to make things as hard as he can on Harden, but you could pick the best defender in the NBA. Whoever you want to choose is Dyson Daniels, Lou Dort, whoever your favorite perimeter defender is in the NBA. You can put him on James Harden, and James Harden is still going to have 30-point triple doubles and still have great games. All you can really do, because again, you're not going to limit his scoring or his assists. He's going to get his points and he's going to play make. all you can really do is try to make him inefficient and try to make him take a lot of shots to get his points and his assists. But with having his running mate Kawhi Leonard next to him, with how well Zubac is playing, Norman Powell can give you 25 plus on any given night. So I like the Clippers team as a whole, but the Christian Brown James Harden matchup should be interesting. I'm pretty sure Christian Brown would be the guy they would have guarding James. And again, Harden's he's gonna have his 30-point triple doubles. He probably has a 40-point game in this series. I would kind of anticipate that because Kawhi's going to be efficient. He's going to give you 30 plus. He'll probably average 30 plus for the entire series, but James Harden is the guy that'll really take over a game. He doesn't mind taking 25, 30 shots, where Kawhi more just gets his offense in the flow of things, and he still has great games, but he doesn't have that takeover gene like James Harden has, if that makes sense. But yeah, James Harden, Christian Brown, that should be a great matchup. Jamal Murray, who would they have? Chris Dunn? Would Chris Dunn? Yeah, I'd say Chris Dunn would probably be the one they would have guarding Jamal Murray. Chris Dunn is another, I don't know if you call him elite, but he's a very, very good defender, so he'd do a good job on Jamal Murray. It'd be interesting to see how Zubac and Chris Dunn guard the two-man game between Jokic and Jamal Murray, because it's pretty much unstoppable. With Murray being out these past few games, he's barely got back into the lineup. It's going to be interesting to see how the two-man game between Jokic and him works. I would say they may be a little rusty, but they kind of never lose that two-man game between the two of them. It's just like clockwork. They've been doing it so long, so I see them being effective. In that two-man game, they're going to try to see if they can get the switch. So Zubac will switch on to Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray can cook him on the perimeter, or have Chris Dunn switch on to Jokic, get the ball to Jokic in the mid post, the high post, and let Jokic cook and play make. So that would be another cool matchup, Chris Dunn versus Jamal Murray. And then finally, Aaron Gordon. Would Aaron Gordon be guarding Kawhi? Would it be Michael Porter Jr.? They'd probably switch. I feel like Aaron Gordon would probably be the best matchup for Kawhi because he's such a versatile defender. He has good length to contest Kawhi's shots, and he has enough strength to be able to match Kawhi strength-wise, because other than Aaron Gordon, I guess they could put Michael Porter Jr. on Kawhi, and I would see Michael Porter getting cooked. He's not a bad defender. He's a solid defender, but Kawhi Leonard's just so good. He's been on fire, these past 10 games. I think in the Warriors game, there was a point in the game where he was 12 for 14 or 12 for 15. He just back to his old self. He's so efficient. He can give you 30 plus for an entire series, and he can give you over 50% from the field while averaging 30 plus. So, I'm going to get to my prediction in a second here. James Harden, I wouldn't call him a playoff choker, but people like to hate on Harden, say he doesn't show up in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard, as long as he's healthy, pretty much always shows up in the playoffs. Nikola Jokic, he's going to show up. With Jamal Murray, he usually picks up his play in the playoffs and takes it to another level as well. So, the Clippers, we're kind of bred for them to disappoint us. Everyone always expects the Clippers to disappoint and not to go far in the playoffs, just because that's what Clippers fans are used to. They're just always a disappointment at the end of the season. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. But Jokic is the best player in the series. I'd say he's definitely the best player in the series. Even with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard in there, it's still obviously Jokic, the best player in the series and the best player in the NBA, in my opinion. But with that being said, I would honestly pick the Clippers in 6 games in this series. I have no reason to believe in the Clippers during the playoffs. They've given me no reason to believe in them for years and years and years now. I'm a Spurs fan, so it's not like I have a dog in the fight. I don't care who wins the series as long as it's entertaining. But, again, no reason to believe in the Clippers. You have a lot of reasons to believe in Denver. At least one reason: they have won a championship before with this core of players, so you can believe in them for that reason. But another thing, too, the Nuggets, they fired Mike Malone right before the playoffs started. I feel like that was such a stupid move. It still makes no sense to me. in my head, they want to shake up the entire core. I don't know if it's Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon. Who knows? They just want to trade everybody, but they fired Mike Malone before the playoffs start. So this way, if the Nuggets get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, the front office can say, "Oh, I told you so. We got to trade all these players and shake things up." Or, if the Nuggets, if they go on to the Western Conference Finals or the finals, I don't see that happening. But if they do that, then the front office can say, "Oh, we just need another head coach. We're this close." But it just makes no sense to me. That's another reason why I'd pick the Clippers in 6 games, because the Nuggets, they're just kind of in front office turmoil right now. General manager gets fired, Mike Malone gets fired. It's just not a stable, a stable setup to go into the playoffs and feel confident and consistent with what's going on in the organization. Where with the Clippers, it's the complete opposite. They're just locked in. Again, I think it was 12 of their last 14 games they won, so they're just on a huge hot streak, and I see them carrying that into the playoffs. Again, Clippers are a top 5 defensive team. Nuggets are a top 5 offensive team. But if you look at the advanced stats, without Jokic, the Nuggets they're literally not even a play-in team. They're probably 11 seed, 12 seed, and that's not even me exaggerating. If you really look at the advanced numbers, when Jokic comes out of the game, they're always a net negative. When Jokic is in the game, it's a crazy net positive, but he can't always make up for that negative play of his teammates when he's not in the game. So I just think the Clippers are the better overall team. I've got the Clippers in 6. That's my prediction. Just because the Clippers defense is so good. And another reason, the Clippers have the 2 superstars, Kawhi and James Harden. You could call Zubac a star at this point. He's playing the best basketball of his career. Where the Nuggets, they have Jokic. You can call Jamal Murray a star. He usually elevates his play in the playoffs, but I'm not completely sold that he's going to this season, just with how up and down he's been all season and with how his health has been. But, again, I have the Clippers in 6. First time we've seen a healthy Kawhi Leonard going into the playoffs in years. James Harden looks young out there. He's really motivated. He had 39 points and 10 assists against the Warriors just the other night to send them to the play-in. So, yeah, I've got the Clippers in 6. Super well coached team with Tyronn Lue, where the Nuggets don't even have a head coach right now. I know they do. I can't even name their interim coach. I don't even know who it is, to be honest. But fire Mike Malone. Denver's offense has just been up and down all season. They need Jokic to carry the entire load, even though they're a top 5 offense. That's just because of how great Jokic is. Where the Clippers, their defense is going to travel every single game. They're going to have lockdown defense. They're going to make things so hard for everyone on the Nuggets. And, I just see them. I see Tyronn Lue putting a scheme together to make things really, really hard on Jokic. They're going to send double teams at him, triple teams at him, and just say, okay, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, Jamal Murray, let's see if you guys can beat us. And I just don't think that they're going to be able to beat out James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac with the way these guys have been playing lately. But please comment below what you think, who your pick is. Again, I've got the Clippers in 6. I have no reason to believe in the Clippers, with their past playoff failures, but I'm going to believe in them this year. I feel really good about the Clippers in 6, despite how great Jokic is. I know SGA is going to be the MVP, but you have Jokic right there along with him. It's more just the team record and SGA's efficiency, I guess. And his higher points per game, I guess, is why you would give him the MVP, but that's a whole different discussion. But yeah, like I said, despite how great Jokic is on offense, despite Nuggets being a top 5 offense in the NBA, I just don't see them beating, this top 5 Clippers defense with the way James Harden and Kawhi Leonard have been playing lately. But comment below what your pick is. Again, I got the Clippers in 6. I'm at a big 37 subscribers too, trying to get to 100 by the end of the week. So if you see my past videos or you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe too, and we'll see y'all next time.